the Doctor with Michael Lang begins in 30 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lang. Sponsored by Lang Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins. Dr. Lang is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lang.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor, right on time. Not even a 30-second to spare here. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lang, for 31 years. We're broadcasting coast to coast all over the great country, and we're live video streaming all over the world. If you're new to the program, who's Dr. Lang? Well, I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I'm also a certified nutritional specialist. Founded Lang Eye Care & Associates March 15th of 1993. Opened the first office in Ocala, Florida with one employee. We grew to 14 locations. We opened 14 locations in 3 LASIK centers in the state of Florida. And I was lucky enough that somebody wanted those offices more than I did about 5, 6, 7 years ago now, I guess. And we sold all of them except the Lang Eye Institute. So I hail from the Lang Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. If you want to see me, Dr. Somerton, Dr. Caputi, come to the Lang Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. Also, remember, we have the Lang Nutrition Center in Ocala, Florida, and the Fortify Nutrition Center in Clearwater. So we have 2 nutrition centers along with the Lang Eye Institute. I'm also the founder of the Fortify Vitamin Company, the lead investigator and formulator of all the supplements. All right, if you got a question, remember, no matter how simple or complicated it is, you can give us a call. I'm going to give you the phone number twice. Write it down. It's a live call-in show. It's 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. We got a great show today. Dr. Susan Somerton is co-hosting the show with me today. And we have Dr. Roger. We have Roger Shulman in the studio audience and Scuba Scott. Good morning, boys.
Good morning. Good morning.
And good morning, Dr. Somerton. Anybody hear Dr.
No, she's not coming through yet, but I'm sure that'll be.
All right, we got to fix that. I don't know if anybody can hear Dr. Somerton, but anyway, we've got a big show ahead of us, and we're getting ready to take Dr. Somerton in just a second. We have a lot to talk about today. Number one, I just got back from the very prestigious Nutrition Society meeting down in Bonita Springs, Florida. So I was there Monday to Friday, and that's the International Society of Sports Nutrition. And it was an amazing 5 days learning the latest on building muscle, losing fat naturally, building strength and endurance. All the things that we talk about and promote on this program. And we're going to talk about that. And we had some really exciting lectures on the new GLP-1 receptor drugs and potential side effects. These are great drugs for losing weight. And we always talk about how weight loss is so crucial for all of us for overall health. And I think everything is going to be good. But we're going to talk about that more in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and introduce Dr. Somerton again. Dr. Somerton, let's see if I can retrieve you now.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm calling in from the Villages today. A beautiful day in the Villages, and I have my nice whey chocolate protein shake, getting my energy ready for a great show.
Awesome. And Dr. Somerton was just on a little bit of a trip herself in Texas, and she was there learning from Procura all about the latest in amniotic membranes. How was your trip?
My trip was great. It was a physician summit sponsored. It's by BioTrue, which is the amniotic membrane, which is just an amazing healing technology that's natural. And we got to learn so much all together as a group of doctors and how we can treat our patients best in their healing. And I'm just excited to share the audience about it later today.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a lot about that in just a few minutes. All right. Phone lines are open. 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. I do want to welcome Memphis, Tennessee, Philadelphia, and Chicago. Those are new radio stations that are now on the Ask the Doctor radio network. Also, you can learn more about the supplements that we've been involved in the development of, and you can actually order and look at all the science behind each supplement. You go to fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE. Fortify.com. Remember, we're eye doctors, so the EYE is on the end. It's kind of a play on words. Fortify.com. One more time. FORTIFEYE. Fortify.com. And the phone number for Fortify Vitamins, and you can order today. We have people answering the phones, is 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. Now, we try to practice what we preach. I didn't work out this morning yet, but I will be after the show. Dr. Somerton, I know you already had your workout this morning, didn't you?
I did. I got up early, did my 50 minutes resistance training at the workout, and had my Fit Pro before it. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Awesome. And so I want to say, Roger, I've known you for quite some time. I met you on a different radio station when I had a drive time show daily called Ask the Doctor. And I think you've changed your lifestyles a little bit since I've met you.
Quite a bit, actually, because you got me exercising, which is a wonderful thing. You forced me to get into the gym. And of course, I switched to your vitamin line when I met you, I think 12, 13 years ago. And it has been a vast improvement.
Right. You do. You're my workout partner. Oftentimes you go to the gym and you're getting pretty strong. I got to tell you, you are improving your strength dramatically since, the first I met you. And you also go to the beach, you ground. You get sunshine. You're not afraid of the sun.
No, not afraid of it. And walk through soft sand. That's quite a workout. Or through the water. That gives you some resistance. Go for a half mile and do that, and some swimming, and it's good. And I've noticed since the gym, when you're older, it's kind of hard to get the bottle caps off of some of these bottles we have. I'm much better at that now. You can actually tell a little improvement in some of these things. So it actually does have an effect, even if you're 100 years old like I am.
All right. I also want to mention in a couple of weeks, Fortify would be one of 3 sponsors at the U.S. Open World Martial Arts Championship. That's the ISKA U.S. Open World Martial Arts Championship, and that's at the Coronado Hotel in Disney. The public is invited. You can get tickets there. So this is recognized by the International Sport Karate Association, the World Championship since 1986. It's the global standard of the sport. Teams and competitors from all over the world are going to be there. Fortify will have a few booths. Like I said, we're one of the major sponsors. ESPN will be there, so we'll get a little TV exposure, which is kind of cool. And their motto is where competitors become champions and champions become legends. And, all these people that are in martial arts, they're into their health. So Fortify is going to be a perfect sponsor for the U.S. Open World Martial Arts Championship. That's July 4th, 5th, and 6th of this year, 2024. July 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Coronado Hotel. ESPN will be there the 5th, and the big extravaganzas on the 6th. So come on out and come over to the Fortify booth. We're going to be giving some great discounts for all the Fortify vitamins during that event. All right, one more time. Phone lines are open. 1-877-969-8600. 1-877-969-8600. Remember, we're still running the BOGO on the Advanced Retina Formula. So a lot of you guys and gals that have macular degeneration or a family history of macular degeneration, you want to take a supplement that's backed and based on the age-related eye disease study and then some other studies that we put into this new generation formula called Advanced Retina Formula. Right now, it's a BOGO. You buy one, you get get one free. You buy 2, you get 2 for free. So go to fortify.com, go to Advanced Retina Formula, and you get the BOGO. Remember, you can't beat that. It's a great deal. It's essentially 50% off. All right, so getting back to talking a little bit about the International Society of Sports Nutrition. It was a huge hit. It was a lot of fun. All the latest science on building muscle strength, endurance naturally, all right? Getting the body to work to its fullest potential to perform at the ultimate levels is the key. They had doctors, MDs, PhDs from all over the country that are involved in the latest science. They're talking about all this. And one of the biggest subjects was actually, and we talked about this with Dr. Poser last week, the GLP-1 receptor drugs, how they're working really good to help people lose weight, okay? And losing weight is crucial for every aspect of your health. However, it's not without complications. Some people are taking too much of this drug, and it's suppressing their appetite too much. They're not eating anything. They're becoming nutrient compromised. That affects their bones and their muscles. Now, that can be a big problem, can it, Dr. Somerton?
Right. It's these medicines are working, but it's not a free pass to either not eat or just eat a little bit of more of the junk processed food. It's an assistance to help you eat better in smaller portions and also help control the blood sugar is what it originally came out. But we still have to concentrate on getting the basics. You need good quality protein, first of all, because we know a side effect of these drugs is losing muscle. They're actually even working on a new drug to prevent the muscle loss while you're taking these GLP-1 drugs. But we know the easiest way and the best way is to just make sure you get good quality protein in small amounts throughout the day. And I think you have more information on that, on the actual amount that we need coming up. And then we still need to exercise. We still need to have a little bit of fiber in our diet. We still need to live that healthy lifestyle and lose weight in the healthy way to stay with our bones and our muscles.
Absolutely. And we're going to expand on that in a few minutes, how if you're on a low calorie restricted diet, all right, or if you're taking these GLP-1 receptor drugs and you're losing a lot of weight, we're going to tell you the latest science on what supplements you can take to actually counteract these negative side effects. But let's go to the phones. Let's go. I think Joyce in Clearwater has been waiting patiently. Joyce, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Was that there are no real raw cashews anymore. You're just not going to get them. Or there's something wrong with them.
Well, no, you can still get raw cashews, but I wouldn't eat them unless you soak them overnight. Add a little lemon juice or a little apple cider vinegar. It's got to have a little bit of an acid medium. Soak them overnight. That'll make them a little soft and chewy, but they're still good. But then you could roast them. And the reason for that is cashews are very high in an anti-nutrient called phytic acid, all right? And phytic acid isn't the best thing in the world for you. So if you soak them overnight, you're going to do fine, all right? And oats are the same way. Oats, buy organic steel cut oats, soak them overnight to reduce the phytic acid.
Now, the other question was, I used to have kale every day in a smoothie. I cannot tolerate it in my stomach. So I have baby arugula now, and I have no problem with that. Is that okay?
Yeah, baby arugula is okay. It's better than spinach because, remember, spinach is very high in oxalates. But try getting organic baby leaf kale, all right? Because if you get the big kale, some people, it tears up their stomach. But organic baby leaf kale, and wash it really good. Try putting that in your smoothie, and I bet you'd do fine. The thing I like about kale, it's got much more lutein in it than the arugula does, all right? And the lutein is very good for the brain and the eyes.
Okay, though.
What's that?
But the arugula is okay, though.
Yeah, arugula is fine.
and the baby, and it is organic.
Yep, the three.
Okay, I will try.
The three foods I
Pardon?
tell people to stay away from right now, especially if you have any kidney problems or had a history of a kidney stone, is spinach, almonds,
Right.
and beets. So
Right.
those are very high in oxalates. And, I don't know, if you recall, 6 years ago, I had a kidney stone. So I became an expert on
Yes.
this. I don't ever want a kidney
Yes.
stone again, because that was more pain
Yeah.
than when I had the bone sticking out of my leg in 2 places racing motocross. So I don't want another kidney stone. And remember, drink plenty of fluids. Plenty of fluids with
Yes.
some lemon juice in them as well, and that'll help reduce the chance of you having these oxalates that cause kidney stones.
Yeah, yeah, okay, and I have sockeye salmon, etc. No, I eat good, believe me. All right, thank you so much for your
All right.
time.
You
Have a
take care,
great
Joyce.
day. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Roger, you've been also adjusting your diet and trying to eat better, haven't you?
Oh, yes. I've been following your example in that. Can't always do it, but eat a lot of salads, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, that sort of thing. But Scoobs and the doctor are fighting over the microphone.
I'm trying to
Scoobs
give
doesn't want to
Scoobs the
talk.
microphone. You gotta at least say good morning to everybody, Scoobs. You got to talk into the microphone so they can hear you. I see that, but you're looking awful good this morning.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Did you do any powerlifting this morning? Did you weightlift this morning?
I swam this morning.
You swam this morning. There you go.
Very
Everybody's doing some exercise. It's very, very vogue. All right. We're getting ready to take some more calls in just a second. But before we talk to Dr. Summerton more about these amniotic membranes, I do want to mention protein. All right. So how much protein do you really need to perform optimally? Everybody's asking this question. So, and I asked, I asked a question during the seminar this week. They were saying you need 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. I started thinking, I get on the scale and I don't have a kilogram scale, so that didn't help me out a lot. And I didn't know how to convert it immediately. So I asked them to please convert it. And everybody appreciated that. So that is actually 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound. 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you got to eat 200 grams of good, clean protein if you really want to build muscle. Now, if you want it to turn anabolic, men and women, for the maximum benefit, you have to be in a calorie deficit. That means about 500 calories less than you usually consume, and eat 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound, plenty of sleep, and you can actually have an anabolic effect. Remember, most of us are only eating a 0.37 grams per pound after the age of 50. So more than 1 in 3 adults over 50 do not consume the minimum protein recommended daily allowance. That's 0.37 grams per pound. Most of us don't after 50. So eat more protein. Consider taking the Fortify Super Protein, which is New Zealand grass-fed protein, or our whey protein isolate, because that's going to give you 20 grams of protein, and that'll be beneficial. All right. Let's go back to the phones, and then we're going to talk with Dr. Summerton in a little more detail. Steve, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, I was wondering about that calculation you had about how much protein you need. Let's say you're 50 pounds overweight. That's all fat. But you need the protein to retain muscle mass. That 50 pounds of extra fat does not require protein for anything. So you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
don't-
That's why you got to be on a calorie restricted diet. And this was the big push at this whole society meeting, the Sports Nutrition Society meeting, was people that are losing weight, whether it's on a crash diet or whether it's on a GLP-1 receptor drug, they're just not eating enough. All right. So if they're not eating enough, they're losing fat, but 40% of their weight loss is muscle because they're not eating anything. They're not eating any protein. So remember, protein is very low in calories, no carbohydrates. So you can consume protein when you're on a diet, and then you can lose fat and not muscle. Remember, we don't want to become weak, scrawny, and frail and, die at a young age skinny, do we?
No. And have you heard about this report that alcoholics get a more urge for alcohol when they're on these weight loss drugs?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's the big thing now. I knew something was going to come out negative about. I just knew it. This is it.
Yeah.
Apparently, they they make people who like to drink more.
Well, the only good thing
And-
about that is now, since they're a lot skinnier, they don't have to drink a couple of 6-packs to get a buzz. They can drink a pony beer and get a buzz. So they're going to save money, aren't they?
Yeah, and here's another thing: we can learn a lot from cats and dogs regarding sugar metabolism, because when you go to think about it, dogs and cats are all mild diabetics. In other words, through evolution, when would a cat or a dog, as a carnivore, come into a large sugar load in their diet? And they never do. So they don't have the ability to take care of sugar like we do. And therefore, I think research on them with these weight loss drugs would yield some things that would be. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of people go in and they say, well, your dog's a diabetic or your cat's a diabetic. Well, if you give a bunch of sugar and you give your cat or dog a bunch of sugar, the cat and dog there's going to spike more than you, because his natural diet through thousands of years of evolution has never encountered this, where you encounter it every day.
Right.
And so I think maybe they should do research on how it affects them. And because it would be sort of an amplification of the results,
Sure.
or how it would be in diabetics. I don't know.
That's something to
I don't
think
know how
about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. And you have a good day, and it's good to hear you.
All right, Steve, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dr. Somerson.
Hi, Steve. I just wanted to add, I had heard actually the opposite on the GLP. The studies showing that they actually, while they're on the GLPs, they actually crave less alcohol and drug abuse. And they're actually researching the drugs to help it. But I think the issue is if they come off the drugs, they're used to having the GLP receptors in their system. And when they come off of it, it's a possibility that then they actually crave it even more. So their addiction goes up. But there is studies that show, I don't know whether it's in people or rodents maybe, that shows it does reduce their cravings for alcohol.
Well, that's how nutrition is. If you go back 50 years, how things, like for instance, things used to are thought of as good, and then they're thought of as bad, and then they're thought of as good again. Like for instance, back 20 years ago, what did your mother or grandmother always tell you to do? Eat your carrots because they're good for your eyes. There's 5,000 items in the grocery store, and that was the one thing that was supposed to be good for your eyes. Now, no, that's the worst thing you can eat for your eyes because of the beta carotene. It went from number 1 to number 2,000 in the grocery store. But remember, cholesterol caused heart attacks, and now it doesn't cause heart attacks. Everything has this backward and forward movement until you reach intellectual stabilization of the theory. And when everything comes out. So no wonder lay people are confused. If the experts are confused, no wonder the lay people get confused.
But you know something, Steve, that's always been bad for us and always will be bad for us? What do you think it is, boys?
Car racing.
Smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
That's right. It's like a game show today. Smoking, they're never going to say smoking's good for you. Now, when that happens, I'm going to get on the alien spacecraft and take off.
Well, it does. It does increase antioxidant levels in the brain, because that's why smokers get less Parkinson's, because it releases dopamine. That's why you like to smoke. If you look at the chemical structure of dopamine, it's an antioxidant. And so if you look, it's the only disease known that that smokers get less of.
I've heard that they also got less COVID because the poison of the nicotine in the back of the throat was killing the virus. That was for very heavy smokers.
Huh.
And also the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon tars bond to the receptor and make it so that COVID can't connect to that receptor because it's all covered with grease and oil. And
Exactly.
Right, so if we keep going on this right, we're going to be saying smoking is good for us in a few more minutes. So let's get off that subject. All right, Steve. Thanks for the call.
40 million people. There's 40 million people out there that smoke that would say hooray. All right. See you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. Dr. Michael Lang and Dr. Susan Somerton here with Roger P. Showman, a radio icon and Scuba Scott, my Ed McMahon and bodyguard. Phone lines are open, 1-877-969-8600, 1-877-969-8600. I want to talk to Dr. Summerton a little bit more about this whole protein thing. Dr. Summerton and I see a lot of patients at the Lang Eye Institute, and we try to talk nutrition with all of our patients. We try to take a natural approach. And I would venture to say, if we asked our patients what they had for breakfast, do you think they had a lot of protein in their breakfast, the majority of our patients?
I would like to think so, but I think a lot of times it's either they had a bagel or a piece of toast, or they just simply had coffee for their breakfast.
Right.
And I've been guilty of just not eating in the morning, but that's why I switched to, if you're busy, if you're in a hurry, some people don't have a big appetite when they first wake up. So just having a protein shake is a super easy way to ensure you're starting your day off right. If you don't have the time to make some eggs and, get up and go, there is healthy alternatives to fit your lifestyle.
Yep, there definitely is. Egg omelet's great, or have a protein shake in the morning. Take a pineapple and a half a banana, maybe some organic baby leaf kale, and fortify super protein or fortify grass-fed whey isolate, blend it all together, and boom, you got a healthy breakfast filled with antioxidants. So let's talk about somebody's right here saying, come on, doc, get to the supplements that will help me. I'm on a GLP receptor drug, and I am getting skinny and weak. I think that's what it says. It's hard to see. They're on Instagram. So the International Society of Sports Nutrition was going over quite a few supplements that were beneficial to people that are on crash diets, people that are on GLP-1 receptor drugs and losing weight but losing muscle, and also sarcopenia. Obviously, that's muscle wasting as we get older. And I'll go over those really quickly, and we'll expand on those in a minute. Creatine, all right? Creatine is very important, but all creatine is made in China except Creapure Creatine, all right? So if you don't want to get a Chinese creatine, you have to get Creapure Creatine. It's made in Germany. It's the most studied creatine on the market. Creatine is the most studied supplement on the market. And then HMB, hydroxymethylbutylate, HMB, the best HMB is MYHmb. Peak ATP, that's adenosine triphosphate. Whey protein, all right? Collagen protein, betaine anhydrous, astaxanthin, and tocotrienols. Those are some of the nutrients that they talked about to help prevent muscle wasting, especially on a calorie-restricted diet when you're not eating anything. And lo and behold, Fortify Fit Pro has all of that in it, essentially. Fortify Fit Pro was developed originally for athletes, for bodybuilders, football, basketball, baseball, golfers, all of that, track, bicyclers. And now it's become very vogue in the 70-plus market to help stop sarcopenia. But we might even relabel it. We were talking about this, GLP-1 receptor support. So think about Fortify Fit Pro. Go to the section on the website at fortify.com. Look at Fortify Fit Pro. It's not just for athletes. It's not just for young. You can take it if you're a teenager. And my mom's 96 years old. She takes, and I think that's one of the reasons she's going strong. And we'll expand on all this a little bit more in just a few minutes. But phone lines are open. If you got a question, it can be regarding any aspect of your eye, your vision, sports nutrition, and nutrition in general. Give us a call, 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. Also, I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortify Vitamins, and you can call and talk to Arlene or Charlene today at 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746, or go to fortify.com, Fortifeye, fortify.com. And then lastly, Lang Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. So I know we're on a lot of radio stations throughout Florida. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump from wherever you are. State-of-the-art eye care center with a nutritional twist. You can see Dr. Susan Somerton, Dr. Lori Caputi, myself, Dr. Michael Lang, and we got another doctor we're going to be bringing on soon. to the Lang Eye Institute. And we got another one that was a technician that's going to finish optometry school soon that hopefully will be joining our team as well. So the phone number for the Lang Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. 352-753-4014. Or you can go to drmichaellang.com, drmichaellang.com. All right, Dr. Somerton. So the Texas conference was all kind of in touch with the latest in amniotic membrane technology. And we've been using this ever since it came out years and years ago. But you really learned more of the latest and how it can help a lot of our patients out there with pain in their eye, corneal problems, patients that have severe dry eye, and they've tried everything, every lubricant, every supplement. They've tried procedures in the doctor's offices, punctal plugs, and they're still having, pain in their eye. And that sometimes can be associated with dry eye, can it?
It can. And this comes from regenerative healing powers of what we've known for years back in the 1980s when they used to operate on babies that were still in the mother's womb. They do the surgery. I saw a picture, for example, of a baby that had a tumor the size of its face while in the womb. They do the surgery. They remove the tumor. They put it back in the womb, and the baby is born flawless without a single scar. And that comes from the power of the baby sitting surrounded by this amniotic membrane and the placenta in the mother. Well, we've been working on this technology for years and years. If anybody's seen that movie Sight, it's an excellent movie. It talks about how using these amniotic membranes, and they've just been getting better and better and better. And really, for putting it in the eye, and I want the audience to know this is a program that comes from mothers from having C-section babies. They've elected to donate this tissue. This is not from aborted babies. It's very ethical. They screen these moms for infectious diseases. They've agreed to this ahead of time. And it's actually a beautiful program where they keep track of where this tissue goes. And one amniotic membrane from one baby right now can help up to 75 eyes. And they'll track that for the mom and then send her a thank you card after, letting her know how many people she's actually helped with that beautiful donation. And we take that, they have to go to the lab, they process it, they disinfect it, and they send it to us, the doctor's office. And it is a pretty big commitment on our part. And that's why a lot of doctors don't necessarily have them in their office, because they do have to be frozen. They do have to be there ready to go. So if you come in with an eye injury to the surface of your eye, the cornea, the sooner we get to you with this amniotic membrane, the better the result. So someone who's had a chemical injury in their eye, something that's just really affected that surface, the sooner we put that on, because the technology shows us the fetal stem cells are actually different than adult stem cells. They actually reduce the inflammation. Normally when we heal as a human, there's a lot of inflammation involved as an adult. In babies, it actually reduces the inflammation as they heal, and that prevents that scar tissue and rejuvenates that surface as new cells. That helps with the dry eye component we're getting to now, because dry eye, it's this chronic turnover. You've got inflammation, you've got dead cells. We can see it on the eye. When you come in, we can put this special fluorescein dye, and we can see all the damaged dead cells. And I just did one this week. The cornea, that front surface, it just looked horrible. The vision was bad. It was painful. We put the membrane on. By Friday, I took it off, and I love it when we take these off. It just looks perfect again. They can see better. They feel better. The studies show right now that it lasts 3 months, but the study was only done for 3 months. So of course that's what it's going to say. But clinically, we're finding, up to a year, maybe even longer, that we've really helped that patient stabilize that vision, feel better, and just overall see better in general. And there's so many more uses that they're researching for, but just that we can help people right away with their eyes is just phenomenal.
It is amazing technology. And quite frankly, most doctors, whether optometrists, optometric physicians, or ophthalmologists, do not stock this in their offices because, number one, they're very expensive and you have to freeze them, so it's not convenient. But we keep an abundance of the frozen ones, and we also have a variety because maybe that type of membrane isn't for everybody. We have a variety of sizes, and then we even have the dehydrated dry membranes in different sizes and different thicknesses. So we really have a lot to pick from to help our patients, don't we?
We do when they come in. And I was even able to, I have a patient I'm working with, and unfortunately, she only has one eye having a prosthetic. And we're able to now customize and create this membrane with a tiny little hole in the middle so that she's able to see, because it does make your vision a little blurry while it's on there because you're having to look through the membrane. And so we're able to customize, create a little hole for her so that she can still function during the time her eye is healing.
And then I would say 98% of the time, this is covered by insurance, also covered by your Medicare and your supplemental insurance, or if you have United Healthcare, whatever you may have. Only things that usually don't covered are capitated HMOs. So, they're not crazy expensive. They're not $10,000, but they are about $1,000. So they're not cheap either. So once again, if you're interested to see if you're a candidate for one of these new generation amniotic membranes, you've had some corneal problems, you've got some ongoing pain and irritation in your eye, and just nothing seems to help, certainly come and see Dr. Susan Somerton or myself or Dr. Caputi at the Lang Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. So I'll give you the phone number one more time for the Villages Lang Eye Institute. It's 352-753-4014. All right, I want to go back to talking a little bit about, building muscle, especially those guys and gals that are on these special drugs to help you lose weight, and also on that specific diet where you're not consuming many calories. You can add some supplements that definitely help. And so creatine is what we talked about briefly. Creatine, the question is it the muscle miracle? And it very well may be. There's some amazing ongoing research studies, all right? Creatine is the most researched dietary supplement in the world, okay? And it's made from 3 amino acids. I think it's glycine, arginine, and methathione. So it's made from these 3 amino acids. Like I said, go to Creapure Creatine. But the research and the ongoing research and studies are for the muscles, for the bone, the brain, for people that have had concussions and traumatic brain injuries, mental and neurological disorders, both, medical rehabilitation, glucose management, T-cell autoimmune immunity, heart disease, irritable bowel disease, and irritable bowel syndrome, even pregnancy. There's some studies ongoing about people that are pregnant. It may be beneficial. Depression helps with depression. So obviously, it's created mainly when you combine creatine with resistance training. It's good for the young and the old. The young and the old when you have resistance training. But also, it's been shown to work in synergy with a lot of other nutrients, especially HMB and vitamin D. That's a triple whammy against fighting against muscle atrophy, weakness, aging, and sarcopenia. So remember, there's a lot of different types of creatine, all sorts of different types. Everybody's trying to get a competitive edge. You want creatine monohydrate. It is the only type that has been studied extensively, and it works quite well. So you want Creapure Creatine. That's the only one. So creatine is great. It is in our Fortify Fit Pro. And then I'm going to quickly cover HMB, because HMB is an amazing all-star in muscle building, especially for the age and the people that are on diets. Not only does HMB improve muscle strength and muscle size, but it helps you lose fat without exercise. It can build muscle and help you lose fat without exercise. So HMB is a metabolite of leucine, which is a branched chain amino acid. Amazing science. It's dual action. Both stimulate, it stimulates protein synthesis and reduces the breakdown of muscles. Been studied for 30 years. It increases endurance, strength, and muscle synthesis. Once again, it works well with ATP, vitamin D, whey protein, and creatine. healthy aging. Think about it. It improves physical function even without exercise, Roger.
Sounds lovely.
So you're on the Fit Pro.
Yes.
So when you take the Fit Pro, it's helping you even if you don't exercise. But when you add exercise, it works that much better. It also improves recovery after surgery. And they've done studies after knee replacement surgery where it helps you recover faster. Obviously great for sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting. Now, here's the kicker: weight management. All right. Who would have thought that taking HMB can improve body composition, helps you lose weight, but remember, don't lose the muscle during the weight loss program. So HMB is crucial. Creatine is crucial. Both of those are in our Fortify Fit Pro. And I take it, Roger takes it, Scoobs takes it, and Dr. Summerton, you might have had it today already.
I did. I have had my Fit Pro and my whey protein. And I want to add, we don't mention this very often on the show, but for all our menopausal women out there are studies out there that those who eat more protein have less fat mass than those who ate less protein. And there is a shift after menopause that basically the tissue kind of protein breaks down, and that actually increases the body's need for protein. If you're not getting enough protein, that body's going to crave it. It's going to need those extra calories to reach that protein intake. So if you're not getting enough protein, you're actually going to feel like you need to eat more and more. So it's for all our menopausal women out there. It's another thing to think about to make sure you add that into your diet.
Yep. Another reason to take Fortify Super Protein or Fortify Grass-Fed Protein. Now, if you don't take those, at least find one that's New Zealand grass-fed or UK grass-fed or French or Australian grass-fed or even American grass-fed. But make sure it says grass-fed, non-denatured or undenatured. That means it hasn't been heated to the levels that destroy the delicate immunoglobulins and the immune-building properties of the whey protein. So Fortify proteins have only been heated to 72 degrees for 15 seconds. Most whey protein comes from feedlot cows fed genetically modified grain, not grass, and is heated to over 200 degrees for over 30 minutes. That destroys and denatures the protein, especially the delicate lactoferrin, the CLA, the immunoglobulins, the covalent bonded cysteine, all the things that are good for your immunity. Wow. I got to mention that the new vegan super protein is going to be here this week. The new vegan super protein is this week. I think we're about out of time. Susan, say goodbye to everybody.
God bless everyone. Have a beautiful day.
All right. We're out of here. Have a great day. God bless you and God bless America. Go on. Susan, you still there? Nope.
I think we lost Susan.
All right, we lost Susan. I guess we're not off the air yet. I'm going to have to talk because I'm not sure. We're still live on the air, right? All right, so, all right, Roger. So we lost Susan. The music came on, didn't it? And the clock down right here said 0 time, so I thought we were done.
I guess not. So we can talk about things, have a wonderful time.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the new vegan super protein. We do have time, and somebody can start the clock back so I know how much time we do have. All right, live radio. New vegan super protein for all of you guys and gals out there that have been thinking during this show, geez, I'm a vegan. Quit talking about all this animal stuff. So we do have something, a new vegan super protein that is a combination of barley protein, and that comes from the beer industry, believe it or not. Barley protein that is an ancient grain, sprouted barley, and we combine that with some Canadian grown sprouted pea protein. And the combination of the barley and the pea is a complete protein. And then we add something called velocitol. Velocitol is a sports nutrient that has amylopectin and chromium. And Roger, it brings the actual amino acid content, the essential amino acids and the branch chain amino acids up to that of whey protein.
And that's a very good thing. And One other thing that you didn't mention today that I really enjoy about your products, nothing comes from China. It all comes from countries that we know the quality of.
That's exactly right. We try to source everything from the best places. Like our protein comes from New Zealand or the UK. Our omega-3 fish oil comes from Norway. Most of our stuff comes from North Carolina. I mean, not North Carolina, North America. All right. The vegan protein that we worked on for years and years, we could not find any of the products, the ingredients. All of them were coming from, overseas. And I wanted it to come from America. So finally, the Canadians developed enough pea protein for us to have pea protein now. So pea combined with barley is a complete protein. When we add the velocitol, it doubles the amino acid power. We have it in 3 flavors: vanilla, chocolate, and mocha,
Caramel,
salted
maybe?
caramel
Yeah.
mocha. And we also have a prototype of cafe latte. And if you come over today, I'll let you try it. So all of you coffee drinkers, we'll have a vegan cafe latte program that my wife actually loves. We sampled it at the International Society of Sports Nutrition, and we might have 4 flavors soon. But people, you can order the new vegan protein now at fortify.com, FORTIFEYE, fortify.com. And you can order it on there, but it's delicious. It's smooth. And Roger, you were actually involved in some of the taste studies for this.
Yes. And for the first time, almost everything tasted wonderful. I mean, we had the one time that we we got something that you thought and I thought was a powder that we could sample. It turned out it was so concentrated. It was for about 10,000 pounds of it. And we all were running out quite ill from the
Throwing up
effects
in
of
the
that.
bushes outside the
I
Fortified
wasn't gonna
Nutrition
say-
Center.
That's
right.
exactly. I had to go next door and buy a cigar to get the taste out of my mouth. It was so horrible.
That was the grape flavor.
Oh, that was
That was the
powerful.
grape flavor. Dr. Somerton, if you're listening, you can call back. We still have another 4 minutes, and then we can do a proper exit.
But you're right. The flavors that came this time, they got them spot on, and we were all just amazed at how great they were. So this stuff is really delightful to consume.
Right. And then initially we were in the first one that came out. Remember, we tested all vegan proteins. We bought every one at Whole Foods we could, and the ones we couldn't, we bought from Amazon, and we tested all of them. They were all grainy, gravelly, and chalky tasting, and none of them were really delicious. The chalky was tough to get rid of. We got rid of the grainy, but we refined it 3 or 4 times with a special technology, refined it to get rid of all the chalkiness. So folks, now if you're a vegan, we have a protein that has a PDCAAST score of 1, the same as milk and whey protein. PDCAAST is the protein digestibility score. So I don't know of any vegan proteins out there that have PDCAAST of 1. If there are, they're very few, and it would be stamped on the side of the bag probably or on the website. So PDCAAST of 1 is kind of the gold standard for proteins. So once again, all of you out there that are dieting or on these GLP-1 receptor medications, you remember you got to consume more protein. If you're a vegan, now you're going to have the Fortify Super Vegan Protein available that is very, very high in branched chain amino acids and essential amino acids. And Roger, I think I might kind of add this to the Lang survival diet because, you got pros and cons. People out there swear by the Atkins diet or the carnivore diet. And then other people swear by the vegan diet. I have the Lang survival diet, which is, I think, the best diet out there. But, I may actually start going vegan 2 days out of the week and doing this new super vegan protein, because who knows who actually is got the true best healthy diet. So maybe a combination of the carnivore, the paleo, the vegan, the Lang survival diet. We'll call it the new generation Lang survival diet.
Sounds good. Sounds kind of like a branch of the Mediterranean diet with a little protein, a little of the pretty much everything in a kind of a moderation.
Well, the Mediterranean diet is probably one of the best diets out there for people. If you just want to Google Mediterranean diet, it consumes high quality protein, lots of vegetables and a little fruit. And the Lang Survival Diet, I've taken it to the next level. Good quality protein, a lot of fermented foods, but I've removed the foods that are high in anti-nutrients, foods that are high in lectins, gluten, phytic acid, protease inhibitors, alkaloids, FODMAPs. So it narrows down to only a few select foods you can even eat. And we talk about how to prepare that on the website. If you just Google Lang Survival Diet, you can find out a lot more about it. It'll show you the foods that you can eat and the foods that you can avoid. So Lang Survival Diet. Roger, thanks for being a guest today.
It's great to see you.
And Scoobs, thanks for being in and supporting us all. All right. With that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And sorry, Dr. Summerton, for cutting you off. We're out of here. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless America.